Welcome to Booty, High Seas, Low Expectations. You join us in session 11, part 1. Let's go over to Chris Trott immediately to find out what happened last session.
Holy crap. Well, hello. We are in the midst of hiring, well, we hired 2 first mates. But before that, we had a whole month go by where we leveled up like 3 times. And we were waiting for our ship to be kitted out with all the bells and whistles, like the glass bottom and the spinners on the side, the little cannons that can pivot on an axis and shoot at things. The ship is complete, and we named it the Raw Dog.
Yes, we
That's
did.
what we called it.
Why did we do that? We did it.
And also, you went out and did ship trials, and now everyone uses Raw Dog as a colloquial term to beat something.
I mean, who do you want to do the summary, me or you?
I don't know, I just remembered that.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
This is my moment.
Yeah.
Use it.
But yeah, he skipped to the end there, but in between we did interviews with 3 people. One was Handsome Andy, then we had Tyrone and Bongo. Tyrone tried to attack Titus because he was disguised. Tyrone obviously being the person that we absolutely shafted on that massive Empire ship.
I made him forget. I swapped his memory around
But you modified his memory, yeah.
I persuaded him that the last 24 hours was me making it up to him, and I didn't do any of those things.
He also fell in love with you and offered a 3-eyed puppy.
I gave it back to him.
We rejected Tyrone and we hired Andy and Bones instead. Sent them off to get provisions. We got 1 month of food, gunpowder and cannons, and everything else a ship could possibly need.
Bonus points if you can remember the name of the dog without him helping. Had 3 eyes. King Charles Spaniel.
Thranniel.
It was 3-in.
3-in.
3-in. Oh yeah, 3-in.
Anyway, you get 3-in back.
Thranniel for 3-eyed Daniel.
Andy is so ugly, Titus requested that he put on a Hessian sack and cut some eye holes out, and then we drew a smiley face on it.
Yep.
And we released Kevin, our little boy spirit, into
Released is a strong word.
Oh, we put him in
his
a
cage.
new prison. We put him in a new
Put him
cage.
into his new, slightly bigger cage. So he has dwellings within our ship.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where my notes end.
Oh, right.
And then we went on
Sea trials.
sea trials, yes, of course.
Oh, but they were quite
They
successful.
were so exciting
The speed
that
of the
I
boat.
couldn't possibly write it all down.
We tested the speed.
Had a drag race.
The firing. What were we shooting our
We did have a
weapons?
drag race against a fishing boat where they
Target
really...
practice?
We did some target practice.
practice. Yeah. Oh, and one of the cannons backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that
got
was it.
repaired, and we also met Sword's homunculus,
Yes.
Dr. Feelgood. And we've
Dr.
actually
Feelgood.
had Casper create an etching of Dr.
An
Feelgood.
etching.
Let's see them now.
There he is.
It's phenomenal.
They are Tinkerbell size. They live in a lantern on the gun deck, and they scream at the automatons to keep them in line. And they are their own sort of like mini automaton. It's if you're listening to this, imagine the drill sergeant from a Full Metal Jacket, but honestly just the US Army.
With the hat.
Yeah, and combined with Tinkerbell. And it's amazing.
That's good.
Kind of made of wood and bits of
good.
metal.
I like
And he's
it.
got wings so he can fly around like
got-
Tinkerbell.
Arcane
also
gems.
like the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good.
He's
Dr.
good.
Feelgood.
That does feel good, yeah.
Okay, great. So the group has decided to set sail. You have maps and information and books on board that you are yet to fully pore through, which will give you more information about the Horn. You have a direction, and the wind looks good to carry you across the sea towards this Horn. The Horn will take several weeks for you to reach, however. It is not close. It is out in the middle of the Atlantic, and it is a place where the currents converge in an area. So often ships are drawn towards it, but they will try and sort of steer around it, slowing them down. If you wanted a truly fast transition, riding on the currents, you would certainly go through the Horn area. So often you'd have to fight. However, you're not there yet, and you won't be there for some time. You do know the direction, and if you wish to set out, which I think by the end of last session is what you were intending to do, you know the sort of cardinal direction, or the direction roughly where you're going to go to start your journey. Before you leave, however, you requested a special tricorn hat, a hat that was able to be worn by all 3 of you, but then put together to create a single hat. I had some artisans dream something up for you. So as a parting gift,
Oh, wow.
some of the artisans of the shipyard come to you and give you this ornate hat made of a rich dark golden leather. Each of the 3 hats has your likeness tooled into it, depicting an epic scene of you doing something courageous at sea.
That's so intricate.
So it doesn't really come together very well, because 3 hats coming together to make 1 hat is quite a
It's a mess, isn't it?
quite a complicated thing. But you, after tucking it through various holes and flaps and things, you can just about create a hat of 3 other hats. And like I say, it's a beautiful piece of work, and they bestow it upon you with reverence and kindliness. So, you're welcome. You guys obviously seem overcome with this gift,
That's amazing.
as your reaction shows.
I assume we all line up and
Place
the
it
hat is
upon my
placed
head.
upon us
Yeah.
equidistantly. No one is.
Each of
given
you
a
has
hat.
it like sword. Yours is like a picture of you hanging from a like one of the ship's lines, swinging out over basically it's all nautical adventure theme. So there's like a little relief. of
Swinging
each of
and
you.
shooting.
Swinging and shooting. Your musket,
Yeah.
one hand holding a line, the other shooting. Titus is dinging a bell furiously in a crow's nest,
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
and Kapipi is on the front of the ship, falling into the sea. As
lovely.
is
Majestic.
tradition. Okay, so the hats are bestowed upon you. They come with little boxes, but I imagine you might want to wear them.
I'm going to wear mine, yeah.
Wear your hat.
Immediately.
I have the middle bit, don't I?
Oh yeah, you're on the middle.
You're in the
Each of
middle
you is
with it.
convinced that
We're
you
on either
have the
side.
middle bit, when in reality each are the
Oh,
same.
because they're all the.
They can
'cause it's a
combine at any point
triangle.
because they're all
Yeah.
the same shape. Yeah, so it's
When we connect them together,
yeah.
and are those 2 lifted off their feet? Because I'm wearing my are the
quite
heads-
amazing.
Is the
Strength.
grip so?
They can't all be worn at the same time. In terms of if you're combining them, they have to be combined into one item that's only wearable by one person.
Oh my god, that's changed.
That's
Well, I'm sorry, but
last
I mean,
episode we walked around
they're,
like a
they're not
trio.
wizards. Or some of them are, but
he is.
yeah, maybe you can come up with your own hat design. How about that? Do that in your own goddamn time.
Call myself an artisan. That's what I say to the people giving us the hat.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
all got just a single point on each of our.
Yeah, if you like. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
alright.
They're hats. You each
Yeah, I've
wear,
got
and
mine
they
on.
can be combined together. They're made of golden brown leather.
Mine's on too. I put mine on slightly faster than Kapipi.
Okay, Titus, what do you do with your hat?
I realized they were rushing, and I take my time and slowly put it on.
Clearly not.
A real
Captain.
power play.
Ah,
He's
perfect fit.
third in rank now.
It's the perfect fit for my head.
That's not a hat. That's a bucket
This
that the swab was using to clean
a
the
big
deck.
bucket, and it fits my
Here's
head.
your actual hat.
Oh, wow, that's much nicer. Thank you very much, kind sir.
It didn't
Oh,
even.
it
yeah.
doesn't fit as well.
You prefer the feel of
The
the
bucket
bucket.
actually had a nicer fit
The
to it,
bucket
but,
just bizarrely fits his head so
but
well.
it's fine. I'll deal with this for now. I might take it off, actually.
Yeah, you should stick with the bucket.
I might go for the bucket. I don't need a hat on right now.
Your 2 first mates, are Bongo and Andy. You decide which is top and which is bottom. They report that the ship is ready to sail. You have provisions on board, and you've got a rough heading of where you're going to be going. You're going to be going northeast, out of the Goldtooth Town, out into the river mouth, and then out into the open ocean. And you will travel northeast once again. That'll take you past Dockers Bay, which is the last sort of major stop before you go out into the ocean proper and discover things that others may not have seen. Are you happy to leave? You want to make sail?
Yes, please.
Like to
Nothing
make
left for us here.
sail.
Let's go.
Dr. Feelgood, please scream to the automatons that we are setting sail, and everyone to their stations. Actually, no,
you wooden
Kapipi,
sons of
can you-
bitches!
Can you tell Dr. Feelgood what I just said?
I can.
As captain, second captain,
Yeah, but I've got to feed it down to Titus.
third captain.
Titus, can you
Hello.
get Dr. Feelgood or one of the first mates to relay to Dr. Feelgood that we are ready to make sail?
Kevin,
He's not there.
Yes?
He's not.
can you tell one of the automatons?
Where are you? Are you like?
I'm
you're-
on deck.
You're on the deck. Remember Kevin's
He's
2 decks
muffled
below.
underneath.
Kevin, tell one of the automatons to tell the fairy dude to. You tell
This is why he's third captain.
Yeah,
There's a
I
break
feel like we might need a better
you
chain
don't
of
need to-
command here.
Whatever, I'm going back to my crow's nest.
I'll just skip all this out. Dr. Feelgood, can you make us set sail, please?
Yes! Okay, no problem! Okay, you raggedy
What deck are you on, Dr. Feelgood?
You get up there and you start looking those sails!
And then you hear a clomp,
think it was in the toilet.
clomp, plomp, as the 6 automatons march out from the gun deck and
Perfectly
move
in sync.
to start perfectly in sync, and they move to start taking the sails down and tying ropes tighter. The 2 first mates are guiding them expertly, whilst Dr. Feelgood hovers about and flits about the place, making sure that the automatons are working correctly. And the anchor is raised and you leave port. The artisans gathered on the dockside, waving goodbye. Goodbye,
Bye.
don't die. Bring our
Bye.
ship, our beautiful creation. Well, your
It's ours
ship.
now, we bought it.
It's your ship, it's true.
Do what we want with it.
Please don't sink it too quickly. And you leave the dock.
Wait,
The
this
unsinkable
can't
raw
sink, can
dog.
it? Yeah, you
It's
said
the
it's unsinkable raw dog.
Unsinkable
What are you
raw
saying
dog.
down there? Unsinkable what?
This raw dog is unsinkable, and we're going to raw dog anyone that comes up against us.
We will raw dog them all.
Shut the fuck up, Kevin. What's he saying?
Something about
Something's coming in.
Can we shut the hatch so we can't hear him?
I can't hear anything up here.
I'm gonna go punch him.
Yeah, you take the
I'll
gloves.
run down.
What's the
down.
kerfuffle down
You
there?
have 2 flights of stairs.
Slapping gloves on.
Down the gun deck. You put the ethereal hands
Right, you
gloves
little
on,
shit!
down into the bottom, and as you come down, hey, there's
Put the glove
water
on.
down here. Hi. No, there's no water.
You lied!
I did. I lied
You lying little shit! Why?
because I'm lonely down
I
here.
grab him and push him
Run
up
through
against
the
the
bars.
cage.
Yeah. I hate this.
Look what we've done for you.
Oh, I'm in another form of prison.
From a blackened hole of
Yes.
nothingness
It was so dark.
to this luxurious penthouse.
Penthouse is usually
And this is how you repay us!
Is everything all right down there, Sword?
Everything's fine, actually. Yeah, all good.
All right.
Hey, Kapipi.
Yes, Titus.
Did you leave Sword
already
down there
dead.
with Kevin?
He's down there sorting out Kevin, yeah.
He said not to do that.
I live a half-life down here. I'm already dead. You can't kill me anymore. Not with this existence. Oh, if I could end it all now,
I'd
I
choke
could.
him. God, I wish I could
Kapipi,
kill you
check
over
on
and over.
Kevin.
All right, I'll go down.
I'm coming down.
Okay, you both come down.
Sword, what is going on in here?
I drop him. Nothing.
You
all right, Kevin?
You were choking him out, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Oh, he
What's
was
all the-
choking him
what's all
out.
the
Was he
commotion?
choking you out?
Yeah.
Oh,
What were
for
you
God's
shouting?
sake.
He's disobeying us, and he's also lying.
What was he lying
He
about?
said that we were waterlogged, and we're not.
There's no water coming in
Yeah,
here.
do you want the glove?
Yeah. Come here, Kevin.
He walks over and allows you to strangle him.
Hey.
Well, we're
Terrence has
all
got
getting
some-
involved.
Terrence has got some steam to let out. I'm going to push on his
That is an
tum-tum.
offence.
Right.
In your face.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
And it turns Kevin, who's normally like an ethereal, like bluish green, to sort of a brown green. You know,
Nice.
like he's gone
covered
from
in-
like a turquoise to more of like a dark forest green. Like, I think I've absorbed it. Oh God, I've got fart
It
as part
smells,
of my
doesn't it?
corporeal
Smells.
being.
Do you know why I think this feels easy? I don't think he's very real in my head.
Yeah.
So when
quite
you
a-
grab him with this, it still means nothing to
It's
me.
very easy
Same.
to just have that disconnect,
Yeah.
like where it's almost like a game.
If you were real, Kevin, this would be a very different situation.
I am real. I just don't have a corporeal being.
Yeah, and that to me is pretty unreal.
That's unreal to you.
Well, I can put my hand right through you. Look. Look at this. Ridiculous.
You don't have a glove on then.
Well, I don't have a
you
glove on. I took my glove off. So I could do this.
Do you?
Look at that. Nothing.
Careful, there's
Nothing.
like Terrence poop floating
Can
around
you
there.
give me a body?
A body?
I can give you solitary confinement back in the hole.
Can we give him a body? What do you expect us to do with the body? We're not going to get a body for you. We're not
I
killers. What are we, killers?
wonder-
We're not
I want
killers.
a body.
We're not going to kill someone.
Please.
You know the
God.
artisans have made this
Yeah.
prison cage room for Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could they make a little box that he could live in and use his gloves to control, and then he can have like his own little, so he sits in the box on top of shoulders of this machine that he
Right.
can control.
You're trying to give this guy some
I'm just
power.
thinking hypothetically in the future, if he
Right.
behaves himself, could we give him a body?
I'm sure if we spent enough time on it, we could find a solution for Kevin's
If you
unrealness.
behave, Kevin.
But I don't think we want to sink the time to that.
Get him
I
to
won't
with
behave.
it.
I'm disobeying on purpose. It's like a
I
protest.
try-
Let's
to
leave the
give him
room
something
and turn
to
the
hope.
lights off. Let's just leave the room and turn the lights off.
How do we turn
There's
the
no
lights
lights
off?
down here anyway.
Well,
Turn
give him-
snuff those candles.
Yeah, sensory deprivation. It'll
Snuff
sort
the
him out.
candles.
Right.
Just desperately trying to make him comply. You'll be happy with what you're given, Guantanamo Kevin. Okay.
God, that was fun. Anyway, back to top
Anyway,
deck.
back to the top.
See you, Kevin.
Shotgun captain's wheel.
I want it.
Okay, so up on
It's a
deck,
one-to-one. Don't spin it too hard.
the ship
Oh, shit.
is moving slowly and carefully out into the channel, where there are many boats going in and out of Goldtooth Town. They are moving sometimes with smaller ships helping them steer, like tugs and things like that, are bringing in the really large ships. You got locals moving their smaller ships in and out, and you guys are part of traffic. It doesn't take you long to move
We're
out
in a
of
queue.
We're stuck in
kind
traffic.
of, yeah. I mean, it's a really busy place, so you are kind of carefully having to maneuver the ship out. Today, the weather looks pretty good, as usual. It's sunny and clear. The wind looks strong. It's a strong northeasterly wind. It's carrying you off to the northeast. And it isn't long before you clear the main traffic and begin to... You leave like sort of the very calm waters of the river, the very sort of sheltered area. Once you get past the headland, the wind picks up and the sea becomes more choppy. The ship is really moving now, up and down. It's rocking and rolling. Occasionally water's coming up over the front. You're in the open sea. And conditions are that which you have to be alert. You have to take care of yourself. This isn't a leisure trip. The ship is moving quite quickly, faster than the Fat Duck ever did. You can really move with quite some pace. It sits fairly low in the water compared to a lot of other ships. You've only got a drop of about 10 feet before you hit ocean. While some of the ships you've been on before are more galleon-like, where there's a real gap between you and the surface of the sea. So you're bombing along, moving with good time. Is there anything you'd like to do now you're out in the ocean? Or are you just happy to just continue traveling?
People, get on that stage. It's time for a sea shanty.
God, I'm gonna have to hold on to something though. This is really throwing me around.
I can't
but sure.
slow it down.
I need a deck chair. I'm not standing up for this shit.
Okay.
Do we have one?
Do we have any chairs?
Automatons. Do we have any chairs? Automatons.
You could command one of the automatons to fold itself up into a chair shape.
Automaton, I require a seat. I can't believe we didn't have seats installed.
And they sort of like crouch down on their legs. The tops of their legs become a flat surface. Their torso straightens up, bolt upright, and then their arms fold down like arms of a chair. And you've basically got like a wooden armchair.
Thank you very kindly. I'm going to sit on this automaton. I suppose at some point you could probably walk me around. Like almost like a mech.
They're not that strong.
Okay.
They can go into like, I mean, maybe, but it would put a lot of stress on the...
Sure, I'm going to take a seat.
Yeah. It closes up around your body.
Oh.
And starts to squeeze and squeeze. And no, it doesn't do that.
It's calling me! Did we install a bar on this ship? Or we just got a few drinks?
So the
Just got
captain's
barrels,
quarters.
right?
Captain's
So you've got the
quarters.
rear sort of office, which is at the back of the ship, which is where the captain's quarters typically are. In there, you've got a globe, a classic drinks globe.
Right.
If you wanted to get something from there,
Send an automaton to get us drinks. Automaton!
automatons
Drink
aren't capable
time.
of something like that.
Oh, have a look it up.
We've got first mates, haven't we? We've got first mates. We've got two of them. Handsome Andy and the
Let's
other
get
guy.
Handsome Andy to do drinks for us. What's he doing now? Something important like rowing the
He's
steering the
flossing.
ship, or he's what?
He's flossing.
Oh, thank God.
His teeth.
I didn't want to say anything earlier, but he had some spinach right in the middle of his teeth. Yeah.
You can see it through the
Creative.
sack.
I don't know where he got spinach from, but it was right there. Anyway, Handsome Andy, where are you?
You're right, I'm here.
Come here right now!
I'm underneath the bag.
Yeah, you bastard!
I'm here, I'm underneath the bag.
Oh,
It's
fucking
over on
hell.
your left-hand shoulder, a couple of feet. He's
mate.
to attention with the bag over his head.
All right,
you have
Andy.
a picture of the bag over his head? You see, he drew that.
You drew
Yes.
a little rough image, didn't
Oh
you,
no,
mate?
it's just a little
It
note.
was just a little doodle of
Okay,
him,
right.
and his eyes were actually even, which I think is wrong. But maybe it could be wrong
Not
in the
canon,
sack.
yeah.
I don't know. Either way, Andy,
Yeah?
can you grab us? Do you want a quick little drink? Cocktail, maybe.
Well, I'm about to go on stage, so I don't like to drink before I go on stage.
That's fair enough. It's weirdly sensible for someone. You're performing for no one else but us.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Me on the captain's wheel, I'm basically holding on for dear life up here because the wind is really I'm like, legs are out, and I'm just holding onto the wheel. I've roped my hands
So
to
he's
the wheel.
currently on
He's
the
tying
wheel.
himself to the wheel like he's about to
I've been like this for hours.
All right, Andy, just get me a cocktail. Pina colada.
We don't really have the ingredients for pina colada on
What
board.
do we have ingredients for?
Well, we got rum, but we don't have any coconuts.
Well, I'll just have a glass of rum.
We don't want a glass of rum. It's
a
not
coconut
good.
filled with rum.
We don't have any coconuts.
Well,
we could
a
stop on an
wooden
island
cup.
and pick some coconuts up at some
A
point.
bucket that's slightly filled with rum.
You don't
Anything.
want
We don't have
just
any kind of
rum.
receptacle.
We've got cups.
Pour it into my hands.
Sir, we've got cups.
Right, okay.
We don't have coconuts.
Well, that's fine. Just something. Pour
I
the
can't
rum
do
into something
European
and give it to
we got
me.
rum, we got
Right.
grog, which is just rum and water and some juice. We got sort of like wine, like sweet wine. We got
Pour the
mead.
rum. Pour the rum into something.
You want just some straight rum?
Yes, please.
It's not good rum,
I didn't think it would be.
clear rum.
Well,
My mum also said, you don't want rum you can see through. But here you go, and he hands you
maybe that was quick.
like a
I thought you were going to go there. You already got it on you.
with straight rum in it.
Wow. Thank you very much, Andy. I hope you have a. Do you want one?
Nah, I don't like straight rum.
Fair enough.
I'll have
So-
a wine or something.
You can't have the wine. Thank you.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm like, is this thing on? Talking into one of the. You said there's like amplifying.
So the way it
horns,
works
right?
is you don't need to like put your mouth up to it. So yeah, there's amplification built into the top deck, or the
Yeah.
top rear deck. So
Is that up where the wheel is?
yeah, behind the wheel
So-
is like
so
your
you're literally
stage.
Fucking hell!
You're standing in front of me while I'm performing.
And imagine like the floor
I turn the wheel
of the
round?
deck. Yeah, okay, yeah.
To
Yeah.
pivot to
You
face.
can take the wheel off of its wheel mounting. So the way that it works, there's like a pinion
Mounting.
like piece in the middle. Yeah, like and you can take the wheel off that way
Come on,
and
Capeeps!
stick it on the other side. So now you're facing
This
it.
is really
Fuck
weird.
you!
You're this close to me while
But
I'm
you're-
Check
performing.
this out.
You're now steering backwards.
It's like
so
left is
like-
right is
Let
left.
me know if there's anything behind or in front. Cheers.
Yeah.
God, front row seats.
Right.
Yeah, this is front row seats, the captain's seat as they call it.
All right, guys. This is a song I've been working on. It's called "The Raw Dog."
Nice, that's the ship
It
name.
is. I haven't got my guitar with me, so we're gonna go with just my drums this time.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun,
Ah,
it's
Kapipi
the
Sig.
raw dog sailing the sea. It's the raw dog for you and me.
It's us.
That's
You
it.
know
Yeah.
that it is fast. We're gonna kick you in the race
Race
because we're gonna raw dog you.
to space.
No,
Okay, sorry,
don't add
improv.
lyrics to
Sorry.
my song.
Sorry.
I
You sure
wanna
you don't want
perform.
a drink?
I don't,
Just maybe
I'll
just
have a drink now. What time of day is it?
I'm not sure.
It is midday.
Midday.
midday,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
5 o'clock somewhere, isn't it?
Andy will get you one.
Thank you, Andy. I'll have whatever he had.
Pure rum.
Just
clear.
straight
It's
rum,
terrible.
sir, is it?
Yeah.
Why is with you lot? You hard drinkers?
God, you
Yeah.
got straight rum.
Yeah,
Is it clear?
yeah.
I'll take 2.
You'll have 2 straight rums.
I'll have a double rum.
He's
You'll have
steering.
double straight rum.
He's steering the ship.
You lot.
Barely.
No taste.
Hey, cheers.
Maybe he'll
Oh,
improve.
It's like we're on our holidays, isn't it?
Hey, down there. It's disgusting.
Some rum, please.
What was that noise?
You hear Kevin 2 decks down asking for some rum, please.
What the
I wasn't tied to this fucking wheel.
God?
I'd kill him.
Why'd you
Again.
tie yourself to that wheel?
Because the wind was really picking up and I was
Oh,
losing
so
my
it's-
footing.
He's worried.
Right, it's going to
We
snatch
could
out
put
your hands.
Also,
Kevin
one
inside
of
a,
you could
a
steer
keg.
it. Huh?
We could put Kevin inside a keg.
Can we fire him out of a cannon?
I don't think we
I
can.
don't think he'll like.
We
does
don't have
he-
the magical power.
No. Do our forces react on him? Like, could we blow him back with an explosion or anything?
Don't know.
Probably doesn't.
What if we built like a glove like this, but it's
But
like
this-
Kevin size?
What if we just built like a giant, like a condom, but just wrapped around him?
Right. What's
Entirely.
one of those?
Well, it's just like
Never used that.
You never used them.
No.
Maybe
No, I
you could
didn't use
fashion
them.
like
I
a
put them on my
coat
finger.
or something like that you could like put on him, and that would allow him to move around perhaps.
We could perhaps
As soon as the coat falls off, he
material, but the
disappears
glove.
into the ether again.
I don't know where we got these. I think these were a gift, weren't they? These gloves. Anyway, it's going to be a tough challenge. I don't want to talk to him right now after what
I
happened
think we
earlier.
should just the best thing for us and for him, in fact, is if we just ignore him because he just makes us angry.
Well, that's. I was going
He'll
to say.
learn that that's not the way to get things.
There's one benefit to having him on board,
Yeah.
and that is he riles me up so much. He like prepares me for an enraged battle, and I think he'll be very useful
Well,
to just
maybe you
look
should.
at.
So before we get in the battle,
Yeah,
then,
yeah, I
you
just
should
need
go
to-
and have a conversation with Kevin.
Yeah.
But
What if
until
we
then,
got
like,
Handsome Andy to draw a nice picture of him, and then we can have it on the deck as well, so we can always
well, you
see
don't want to be
him.
angry all the time, though. Like,
What if
Let's
it's on like a
talk-
panel that you could just flip? So one side is nothing, and the other side is his face, and then
What about your projection tech that goes onto the sail? What,
Yeah,
just
so if
flash an image
he
of
makes an
Kevin?
image of Kevin out of stained glass windows,
Yeah.
we could project him on there. But we do have the actual Kevin on ship, so I don't know why you wouldn't just go and have a
I hate
conversation.
that guy.
Yeah, but you want to get riled up.
I do. I'm getting angry now. I want to fight something. Just thinking
So
about
that's the thing. We don't want to be fighting all. Have another sip of your rum. That'll calm you down.
I was angering him. I think.
Does your song do anything? Are you using any kind of bardic inspiration, or you just want to do it to inspire
No, I
people?
just did it for entertainment purposes. Yeah.
So yeah, you test the sound. Everything's really good.
Sounded good.
The
Loud out there?
It sounded loud
natural
enough.
wooden amplification system
It's like
built
you are the
into
ship.
the deck works really well, and it projects your voice and performance and your instruments out across the water.
Wow.
Very loud. People can hear it from hundreds of feet away. You could also test the Bob and Knobs trademark disco box, which
Is it dark enough?
it's not quite dark enough now. It's midday right now, so it's not really working in the way that it projects onto the,
Is it
the
powered by
sails.
candles?
Yeah. So you just light the candles and then move various lenses. What you can do is you can it's a bit like a stopwatch or a grandfather clock in that you can start the movement and it'll keep rotating for a long time.
I imagine the rocking of the ship keeps it.
Yeah, exactly.
going as well.
It's got various clever weights and things like that in it to
Very
spin
clever.
the lenses on their own.
I'll tell you what, guys. That was just like a nice sound check. This evening, when the sun goes down, we'll have a proper good party tonight. How about
Hell
that?
yeah.
We'll
Nice,
try out
yeah,
Bob and Knob's light box. We'll project some stuff on the sails. Maybe some nearby ships can pull up. I'll finish the Raw
Yeah.
Dog song,
Yes.
and we'll sing about ourselves. People spread the word of the Raw Dog, and everyone have a good time as well.
Andy, prepare all the coconuts on board. We're going to have so many pina coladas.
Done, sir.
Just like
Hang on a
that
second,
already.
hang on a second.
It's done already. You said it wasn't done.
We haven't got
Lovely.
any to prepare, so I consider the task done.
Oh right.
Right, I thought it was the old double. I'm doing something nice for you, but he just doesn't have the coconuts.
I
So we need to get coconuts. Is there an island nearby?
Yeah, we stop off somewhere tropical.
Someone, like a little island?
What?
Yeah, what's up, mate?
I do know of an island nearby.
Sorry, I can see your face through one of the eye holes, and it's really put me off.
You need smaller eye holes.
Need to
He raises his other hand while saluting. He raises his
you.
other hand in front of his face for
Oh,
like a
really put me
different
off
sort of
my
weird
rump.
salute.
Yeah, but we've talked about his face, but have we talked about the smell? That motherfucker needs to
work
brush.
on it.
He's very clean, I'll have you know. I rub myself raw every night.
Me too.
The
Where is-
smell
Where is the island?
is my clothes.
No, it's
not
not
me.
it's your breath.
All right.
The Hessian sack doesn't stop shit. The Hessian sack isn't doing anything.
I can't believe that. That's to be exasperated.
Honestly, if you ate like a mackerel right now, it would improve things.
Yeah? Well, tell you what I'll do,
Oily
sir.
fish, disgusting fish would make that smell better.
I'll cut up some
Smells like
onion and I'll
death.
push it between my remaining teeth. How about that? Yeah,
Yeah.
onions absorb
On
smell
anything.
really well.
Onions,
Anything.
yeah.
Anything. Where's this island? Maybe
Well,
we'll
I
use
was
some
looking at the
coconut.
charts downstairs with Bongo, who frankly is much more qualified than I am. He got out some of the charts that you've been given. And there seems to be a sort of travelling island that kind of comes through this area. We should be in that region of the ocean in a couple of
What?
hours.
A travelling island.
Islands don't move.
I know, right? That's one immutable law. Land don't move.
So it's a ship then. It's a ship. Large
Must be.
ship.
Must be.
Well, I guess so. It was 2 hours from where we are now. You know where
If we continue on our course northeast towards the direct,
Yeah, we'll find
the heading we're staying on in order to eventually get to the Horn, our path should cross with an island that broke off from land. This is something coming from Bongo. I might be repeating.
Bring
this
Bongo
wrong.
up here
He's
if you're going
utterly
to quote
mad.
him.
Okay, all right, Bongo, mate.
Actually, we should talk about these two. I feel like we're giving too much attention to First Mate Andy and not enough to Bongo. And I think in terms of training them both up to get good social domestication, I think we should treat them both equally.
Yeah, well, especially as we're paying Bongo and not Handsome Andy, we should really get
Oh
some
God, I
money's
forgot
worth.
about that.
Oh yeah.
50
But
gold.
he didn't win this. He won the golden
He won Split or Steal.
little steel.
Hello,
Golden egg.
gentlemen. You've requested my
Bongo,
presence.
First Mate Bongo.
That's me, yep.
We like you just as much as First Mate Andy. Just want you to know that up front.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Golden ball winner, boss.
I won the gold.
You certainly did.
I split and stealed.
You stole.
I stole.
Tell us a little
stop.
bit about this, frankly, insane sounding idea that's a travelling island.
Oh, he's told you about the island, has he?
Briefly, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So it's on quite a few charts these days because it's become quite a fixture. It's the island of Newfungery.
Ooh.
Locals know it as Chukachunga. I visited there once.
Chukachunga.
Chukachunga.
Okay.
In fact, your people may know of it.
What people?
Tritons.
What do you mean, your people?
You people. You fish-like people. Merfolk, Tritons. Is that what you are?
That's exactly right. And what would they know?
Well, let me tell you a little story. Please sit down whilst
am
I
already
regale
set.
you with the tale.
Trooper CH.
The island of Newfungery, as it's known to the established order, broke off from its mainland after a special kind of mycelium. That's what mushrooms basically are.
I get it!
Permeated, fungery, get it? Permeated through the coastal area that this island once formed.
Wow.
So once this mycelium
spread out through this coastal area. It broke off,
Just snapped off.
but it was so full of mycelium that it floated, right?
Porous.
It now drifts on a many-year cycle along reliable warm currents. So imagine that there are currents that run through the sea like roads, right? This piece of mycelial fungi island floats on that current in an elliptical pattern, right?
Bongo, are you reading off a script?
No, I'm not. There's charts downstairs, right? There's charts
Are you
downstairs.
sponsored?
I'm not sponsored, I'm just very learned. There's a
Okay.
difference.
Okay.
There is a
Right.
difference.
I can't read.
This is what we're paying for.
This is what I was so
This
good.
is what you stole for. Golden Ball winner 2022.
Now, the reason I said that your folk won't know of it, because part of its cyclical journey on this current is it spends about 3 months over some certain sort of Triton settlements, towns and villages. It floats. Obviously, your people have towns and settlements on the base of the sea floor, right?
You do. You
So
only tell
it's-
me twice.
So it sits above these. And due to its proximity to these towns and their unique corals, the corals have released spores and they've evolved and interacted with the mycelium of the island and thus caused the island itself to blossom into a sort of mushroom coral hybrid sort of space, right? Now, because of this offering, the Triton see this, it's been doing this for thousands of years, so the Triton folk have long since held
His people.
his folk, well, some of them, not all of them, just the ones over the settlements, where they swim up to the island and they bury their dead there, right? So that's why I thought you might know of it. It's sort of a sacred place, if you will. But it might be worth a look, and if you need coconuts, I'm sure we'll find some particularly exotic forms of coconuts on this island.
Like mushroom
What are
coconuts.
what are the people like there? Any fun guys?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a few real fun guys there.
This guy.
Yeah.
Oh, good
I don't give
one.
a fuck about the people. I just
Honestly,
want to say the fun guy.
I've only read about the place. I've never visited.
Right, well, I guess we'll
It's
find out.
an unusual spot. It doesn't have any sort of real established communities there beyond, you know, the odd traveller or.
You claim you're a noble, right? That's
Yeah.
a sort of royalty, like very important in the
Yeah.
Triton.
By left as
But you
well.
literally know nothing about like the sacred traditions of like burial of your people. or
Honestly,
anything
I
like that.
didn't pay that much attention at school. They didn't teach you that. Kind of taught us to fight,
Were you
avoid
privately-
anchors. Sorry?
Privately trained, privately educated.
I was, and they didn't really teach me much beyond dodge the anchors, watch out, our entire castle could be
Right.
destroyed by anchors.
Paranoia mostly.
And
Always
it was
look up.
basically an always look up scenario. And we were always up. That's why I got a crick in my neck. Yeah, it's been going away slowly. The more I'm on land, pretty good. But otherwise, normally it's just like, what the hell?
So
Now I'm on a
far,
ship, so I feel kind of almost godly because it's like we could drop those anchors
You're
on them.
above the sky, essentially.
But
so-
no, they are my family in there. So.
Any
Some are
of them
still
are, you know, buried.
Sexy.
On-
Oh, no. No, I don't know if they're buried there.
Well,
Well, let's go find out in the
imagine if some
mycelium.
of your family were cursed and
What?
to be constantly living undead, raised from the
That's a very terrible and
from a-
haunted, cursed thought. Why
Yeah.
would you think of such a thing?
Well, my entire family was cursed and
Oh,
possessed. and
wow.
all their
you never
bodies
told me
came
that,
up.
I don't think. Did you tell me that?
No, this is the first.
Oh, so once you get a few drinks and you start really
Oh, I've had a
revealing
lot of
some
rum.
backstory, so what happened to them
Right.
then?
Well, they all raised up from the dead because they did some sort of strange, like, swinging event, I think. Hobgoblins and goblins, they often do swinger parties.
No, I've met some hobgoblins before.
Unfortunately, goblins pounced on my entire family, killed them all, murdered them, and cursed their dead bodies to walk among the living
Did you
and
destroy the
flirt with
bodies
people.
or
Huh?
they were sexy?
They were all sexy. I mean, look at me. I got
We'll
the
have to
scar.
try and find them at some point in the journey. But that I guess they won't be on this island.
No. That's
Well, then,
where your people get buried.
That's where my people get buried. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be traumatic. Let's go. 2 hours, right?
Well, yeah, a couple of hours. Yeah, I reckon if we're doing all right. So, all right, well, we'll maintain our heading, and hopefully, it should be coming off of the bow in a couple of hours or so. We'll start seeing.
We haven't had our onboard like lunchtime.
When you come around with the
We've had a
car-
run, but we haven't had our dinner. Tasty lunch.
I'm sure Andy can get on that for you. I've got a few other things I need to make sure the ship is operating now. We're in the high seas. Andy, you're right. I believe the captains.
That's all right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Captains.
plurals.
Is he gonna handle our food? Andy. Have you smelled him? Sorry, I know this is a bit
And
of a
Andy's
crass
coming up,
comment, but
like,
he's
he comes up with like a big silver tray. He's just like,
Here he comes.
like clattering, clinking plates and things like that. And he's like,
Andy, yeah.
we've taken the liberty of preparing you all lunch.
Lovely.
Right, brilliant. What is it today?
And he takes the top off, and it's mackerel, onion, and cornbread. Right? He's just like,
Did you think of cooking these or?
the mackerel's oil soaked.
It is an oily fish, so it's soaked in its own oil.
It's double soaked, yeah.
You just poured more oil on it.
Well, no, it came in a tin like that.
Fucking double soak. Nice. And I start ravenously eating.
He likes double soaked mackerel. What do you like?
I don't like.
Maybe I should have asked. You want some fresh white onion?
Yeah, I'll have some fresh onion. Have a knife and fork.
Eat it
man.
like an apple.
Come on, I'm not a monster.
He gives you like a really dainty long fork, like one that's like for
Nice.
desserts,
Oh,
like
lovely.
really
Two-prong.
small, two-pronger.
I'll
So
take
you
a
like
little ring.
pick. What you find if you eat it slow, it lasts longer and it feels like you're having a bigger meal. So I provided you all with really inappropriately sized.
Quickly.
I thought we had
Oh,
a supply of
But
food. This is what he brings us.
Saul's there just like sipping the remaining oil in the tin of mackerel, like it's
Got
like
oil all down my face.
it's just covered. It's
Oil
in his
covered in the
beard.
sack.
No, he's stinky.
He is stinky.
You're a stinky bastard.
I
Sorry.
am a fucking stinky shit. Yeah.
PP, you want anything from the trolley? Tray? What do you like?
Have some
Randy?
mackerel,
I should-
it's lovely.
Before I
did we get
prepared it,
some
I should have
turtles?
I
asked.
don't want to be too forward, but
got some turtles.
like Titus, you're not still lactating, are you?
Sorry. No,
He's got a taste for it.
I got a
thought
taste for it
I thought
and,
we kind of
like-
decided we were going to leave that in.
Yeah, I
the week
can't
we
stop
spent.
thinking about it.
Well, that's
but-
all you were doing. I'm raw still from it.
Yeah,
Even
alright.
though I got
Did we
rid of those
bring
bad boys.
any veal of the sea with us from Turtle Bay before we left?
We did.
It was an order.
We got some. That's
got-
literally the last thing we did. We got some.
Yeah.
veal
Baby
of the
turtles.
sea.
I
Some
might
turtles.
just eat that now. I know we should make it
I'll have
last,
one as well.
but I might just have it now.
Where do we put them?
Handsome Andy visibly sags, his shoulders sag, not only through the disappointment that you don't eat the things he's prepared for you,
Well,
But
what about that?
but also it takes ages to prepare that turtle dish.
Is it
Like-
not prepared already from Turtle Bay?
No, I mean, well, like,
I've
it's
got to
not
know
going to last
what
very
is
long.
he
if
up
you-
to otherwise?
Well, it can be
We've got 2
pre-prepared
hours.
if you want. I mean, I can retcon it, but the thing is, it's not going to last long, is it? If it's already been prepared, you got 1 or 2 days before that goes out.
That's why I'm eating it
Everything
now.
they bought was designed for like long voyage, you know,
Right.
like minimum of like 6 weeks at sea. So they
Right.
bought things that will last,
You got
not
corned beef, you said?
I'm sure you'll work it out,
there might
Handsome
be some
Andy.
corned beef, yeah.
What?
No. I don't want to work it out. Sorry, I don't want to work it out. I want to get it right for you. What kind of things do you want? I got
Eat bread? I'll just eat bread.
cornbread
Just
right
give me
here.
the bread. Just
You want
give
some
me the
cornbread?
I'll
that's
eat
it.
that.
I
Come
thought it was
on.
corned beef.
Pretty dry though.
Hungry.
So we're not having veal of the sea.
We'll have it another time.
Look, I can
Maybe
prepare
tonight?
veal of the sea later. I'll do it
How
for
about
dinner.
for tonight with the party?
Yeah, I'll do it for
Alright.
dinner. All
So
right.
I'll just
All
have.
right, I'll get working on that now.
I'll just have an onion for now.
Oh, you want some onion? Now you want some onion.
Just an onion.
Of course he wants onion. You want onion, you dirty little bastard.
I'll eat it like an apple.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, nice.
as intended.
There you go. All right, any more mackerel, Captain Sword?
Honestly, I can't have another mackerel right now, otherwise I'll be ravenous.
Just eating 3 whole mackerel.
Bones and everything.
Oh,
I kind of swallow it like a pelican.
as you gulp it back.
Yeah. I'm a disgusting hobgoblin.
Luckily, it's so oily that like it just
Slips right
slides
down.
down.
I used to have mackerel with an apple on the side.
Apple?
Yeah, you used to call it an apple mac.
Oh,
Hey, nice,
Just letting you know a story.
nice.
God.
We can cut that out.
So, what did you say?
That won't be in the final edit.
Sword.
Yeah.
Sword's got really luscious hair and beard because of the amount of oil he eats in his diet. It's incredibly,
What?
incredibly thick and lustrous.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
just
just
tell us.
like mixed in oils. for all
Yeah,
the
you
fish
just
I
let
eat.
it sit.
Yeah.
All right, so Handsome Andy takes the tray back downstairs, and you can hear him rooting around, like starting to do some cooking. He does that on the gun deck at the front. There's a small kitchen area.
There's a gun
In the
deck.
nose, yeah. Past the kitchen, like amongst like
sooty today,
cannonballs and gunpowder. He occasionally uses a little bit of black powder to get the stove started. You know, just like a. But he's rooting around. And he's starting the long
Does he
process.
mix up herbs and spices with gunpowder now and again?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
He occasionally mixes dangerous chemicals and things like that, like bits of flair and stuff. He's trying a new form of cooking, which is, you know, very.
We didn't hire him for his cooks.
Has some Blumenthal.
We hired him for his looks.
Shipping
That's
well.
true. That's true. So you continue for a few more hours.
Who is
Swordworth.
who wants to drive the ship the whole time?
This whole time, all I've done is wedged a stick in the captain's wheel. Kind of like, you put like a brick on the accelerator.
Oh, all those times you're putting a brick on the accelerator.
And just leave it.
Always.
I
Just keep it going.
Put it on auto.
Keep the engine rolling.
An hour and a half passes
Put it on cruise.
before you hear a godly crunch.
Oh, wait,
Who's driving this ship?
I thought you were driving.
Are we hitting something?
The ship slows all of a sudden as you're all thrown forward,
The food.
and you come to a stop.
Oh God.
What's happened? Sword?
Kevin!
What's Kevin done now?
He didn't remind me to keep steering the ship.
I think we crashed.
I think we hit something.
We hit something. I'm not sure what it is.
Titus, do you mind just going overboard and just checking underneath and seeing what's
I almost feel
happening?
like it should be. Is it not visibly obvious? I'm guessing it's underwater, maybe.
I have no idea.
No, he's lying again. Have you ever heard the story of the dead spirit that was bound to a ship who cried wolf?
I have actually. It's quite a long
The
one. though.
boy.
Barely get to the end.
Why was he crying wolf in the ocean?
I don't know. It's weird story. But either way, he's lying.
There's no wolf, Kevin.
But we all fell over just now.
Yeah, I think we
So-
hit something.
Right.
Why don't you go and check it out in case it's underwater?
I'll go and have a dive then. I'm jumping off the edge. Because of
you
things
looked
that
over the
Kapibi said.
banister?
I'm looking over the banister.
Hard rock.
Go straight.
What do I see out here?
Don't look, just jump.
Well,
It
my
looks as
eyes are
though
open and there's
Over the
inside
front
periphery.
left bow of the ship, you are still in fairly open ocean. You don't see any land around you, but it seems like you've hit some form of reef. Below the surface, about 6 feet below the surface, you see stretching out before you what looks like a complex and large reef that has channels within it. However, as in, openings that you can swim through, but in this case, the ship has hit part of this reef and ground to a stop.
I'm going under. You see
jump
what the
off?
hell's going on with this
You go over there.
structure.
Fucking coral shit is a plague. We should
We should
remove
destroy
it from the ocean.
Yeah. I don't know how. There's a lot of it.
Just getting in the way
It's
of
not
our
something we can
ships.
just do on a whim.
No.
There's a lot of magical energy. Anyway, I'm going to go have a look down there and see what's going on.
Okay.
Right, little hop over. Only 10 feet. Whee! Bomb! Cannonball!
Do you do bomb?
I do a cannonball.
I don't know how he survives that. Like, it must
Ooh.
be bitterly cold.
I'm used to it. I'm going to go under. What do I see?
Oh shit!
Okay, so you
I ate mackerel in
see
front of him. Is that like the turtle thing?
Oh, I don't know, you have to ask him.
He didn't seem phased. Anyway,
what?
I ate fish in front of a triton. I didn't know if that was offensive.
No, it isn't offensive.
That's all the swords worried about.
Okay, so under the water, nice sound effect. Under the water, you see that the ship has smashed into the reef and is a protruding bit of the reef is. So let's say, right, so the water you've jumped into is probably about 40 feet deep. You can just about see a sandy bottom beneath your feet, but that sandy bottom stops and becomes a tall reef, a reef with which you have collided, or the ship has collided. The reef is about 30 feet high, so it forms a large reef wall and then continues on into the distance with about 6 feet of water between the top of the reef and the top of the ocean, or the surface of the ocean. Some of it has smashed into the front left of the ship, and a small amount of water is coming through a hole around where the reef is protruding inside the hull. You can just about see Kevin waving frantically at you through the tiny hole. You see a little glint of green, and he's like, it's coming in. You can hear him like, he's not completely underwater.
Oh, Kevin!
Oh, Kevin.
There shouldn't be a hole here!
What is you?
This is bad.
Yeah, so you see the hole. Anything you want to do?
I'm trying to think of if I have any kind of skills to.
You have to cantrip mending.
Yeah, no,
Was a handy one.
I don't believe so. I can't acid arrow this one. Or can I?
What are you two doing whilst he's down there? The classic trying in the underwater scenario. Are you watching?
All right.
Yeah, well, no, he's been down there a while, hasn't
It started raining. Nightmare. So what are you up to this weekend?
he? Not too much, How about you? You done something different?
I feel, well,
Done something different in your hair?
yeah, well, I think when I finished eating the mackerel, I kind of spat the oil onto my hand and accidentally.
That's good.
Thank you.
Ought to, yeah. Oil in the hair, you ought to start doing that.
No, well, I think I already am. So,
We're just making small talk.
Okay, perception.
This looks pretty fucked.
So you can see that the reef has punched a hole about 1.5 feet wide. So it's a part of the reef that sort of sticks out, like imagine like a person's arm, a big chunky bit of arm has punched into the side of the ship, and a fairly small amount of water is currently gushing through, but it sort of sealed the hole when it pierced through, so it's sort of just pissing around it. You think that it could be patched, but if left for a long enough time, the ship would start to take on enough water to affect it. As you guys are chatting, Kapipi, having, I believe, the highest passive perception, notices a dark shape moving from the water towards the reef.
I'll try and find the reverse.
Sword.
Huh? What's up?
No, I thought I just saw something in the water.
Reef. Coral reef.
Yeah, but it's underwater.
Titus,
Yeah, coral reef's usually underwater.
You
I
hear
thought I
a-
just saw like a dark thing.
Okay.
swishing sound from behind you. You're looking at the crack at the moment, but like, Billow. You said Billow, and the cloak tries to sort of create some swishing.
God, the cape's in the way.
Looking out into the gloom,
Can't see shit.
so the opposite side to where the reef is, you look out to the rear of the ship, and in the gloom of the ocean, it's still quite clear, the sea, but it still, after a while, fades to a gloom. And in the gloom of the ocean, you think you see a couple of shapes swishing backwards and forward on the very periphery of how far you can see. At first, you think you might just be seeing things, until again, you see a large shape,
How big?
big,
In terms of
big.
scale, to me.
How big are we looking?
How big does that object look in comparison to my own body?
It is about 30 feet long.
Oh, fuck. That's big. Hello?
Bearing in mind the ship
Hello?
is about 70 feet long. So about half the length of a ship, 30 feet, or near about 9 meters long.
Shit, I
I
mean,
swear there was a reverse on this thing.
I'm gonna
But you're
eat
still
looking
trying to
for a
work out how to do
reverse.
it. Okay.
On the reel.
The bongo. Oh, I don't know, sir. I don't think you're going to be able to reverse the ship. We can start trying to pitch the sails the other way to see if we can catch a bit of wind to use the wind to haul us off the reef. We
Yeah.
do have long poles for pushing the ship off of docks and things like that. Perhaps we can get the automatons to work trying to push the ship off of the reef. We'll rig some of the sails, but it's going to take 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes at least to get at the very least.
Andy, I'll take another mackerel then.
And he goes downstairs. You can hear him rustling.
Yeah,
around
get
his
to
kitchen.
it. Dr. Feelgood, pass on the orders.
Okay, you goddamn automatons, I want you to get the biggest, longest pole you can find, and I'm not talking about the one that your daddy beat your mommy with. And the automatons just aren't reacting to this because they were built. And
I think I just heard that. I think I might be able to help.
Yeah?
I've got this pole of collapsing that we found. Do you reckon we could shove that under the ship, expand it, and then it pushed the ship off?
well, look at that. You're using something you've been given with a good idea. That's refreshing. Yes, that would be a great idea.
No, don't fancy it? All right, let's do it.
Sounds ridiculous.
Here it is, look. What was the word? Grow. See?
So that
Shrink.
extends up to 10
It
feet.
goes through your stomach.
No, I'm above my head. Let's go.
Oh, he's dead.
Okay, yeah, so you can use that. You can work out a way to, you're gonna have to put that between, you're gonna have to brace it somehow as well, because like, there's every chance it could punch through the hull as well. You need to create some sort of like padding or something for that pole to extend.
Have we got anything that can go like crossways on it and make like a little table end so that it doesn't like just puncture a thin hole through the ship? It's more like just a big old cushion. Have we got anything?
We could take one of the spinners off the side, I guess, but those are quite big, bulky
No, I don't-
things.
Yeah.
Titus, you look back into the gloom, and this time you definitely see what is a very large shark,
dog balls.
and then a second shark. There are two huge sharks seemingly sizing you up. They're trying not to be seen by you, they're trying to move.
Hey! I wave at them.
They
Hello?
don't wave at you.
Oh,
You can
balls.
tell using your fishy senses that they are sizing you up. They are looking for a quick meal. And you, as a seemingly defenseless humanoid who's ran aground on the edge of this reef, a good hunting ground for them, they're closing in.
I'm going to go to the surface.
Roll initiative.
Oh,
You two on the surface roll initiative as well.
what does that say?
As you notice the sharks,
16 plus
16.
two of the sharks' fins
18.
pierce the surface as they decide to make an attack run at Titus. They're heading now directly for the point of the ship.
Ah, it's a 9 for me.
You got a 9.
I got 17 plus 3, 20.
Oh, look at you.
Very good.
It's such a good
Titus,
roll.
what did you roll?
18.
18.
No, it was 16, wasn't it?
Plus 2 though.
Plus
your
18, yeah.
initiative,
18.
Nice.
Overall.
BP, you'll go. You see initially, the sharks come straight to the surface as both their fins do the trademark breaching of the surface as they're moving towards where you know Titus is currently submerged. They are perhaps 100 feet away, and they are, within about 50, 60 feet of the rear of the ship at the moment.
Have we seen them yet?
You've seen them, yeah.
Shark!
No.
A very convincing reaction there from Sword.
No, I'm in slow motion.
Oh, why are you in slow motion?
I'm reacting because he's got 6 seconds of time.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I
right.
see.
So I'm
Yeah.
still reacting until it's my go.
Oh.
I'm just becoming aware of what you're saying. This is like the Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're thinking in real time, I'm in slow motion around you.
Right.
What do you do?
So what are they doing? So have they latched onto the front of the ship, you say?
No,
fins.
they're clearly heading towards Titus, who's in the water. They're not trying to attack the ship. They're not probably. They might be capable of bumping it around, but they're not really
Have I
capable of
got
doing much
anything
damage.
that I can use?
But when they see a juicy morsel in the sea, like Titus, they are very interested.
I mean, I guess the first thing is like just getting Titus out of the water is the first thing we really want to do.
Okay.
I don't know if I can use anything for that, or if I just literally try and get his attention somehow.
Yeah, you can do that.
I think Titus did start making his way to the surface.
Titus has seen them
Yes.
and he started to make his way towards the surface. Yeah.
Titus, have you seen the sharks coming?
Whoa! I'm at the surface yet?
They're not quite at the surface yet, but you hear him like.
Titus!
You hear the word shark, and you know, you've seen them, so you're like, oh, he's probably talking about those giant fucking
He saw
sharks.
them too.
Yeah.
We got some rope that I can just throw off the side to
Yeah,
see
you
if
can
you
grab,
can grab
you can
onto
grab
that.
a line to chuck down.
This is a ropeless ship.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're trying to reduce our rope usage on
Yeah.
the ship.
Minimalist.
Yeah,
A
you know what? We
minimalist
don't
ship.
want any more single-use rope.
All right, I lower the Iron Maiden down.
Yeah.
Get in this!
Don't close it.
Can
Can you grab onto the outside?
There's a shark in here! I'm gonna grab the front of it. I'm not getting inside. I'm getting
You are
funny
actually down
ideas.
the Iron Maiden down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so from the front of the ship, he has to swim around the ship as well, so it's not
Oh,
exactly
right,
close to
yeah.
it. You aren't close to it yet. You
Oh,
haven't
God.
moved yet. Well, you not. Yeah.
I was trying to get to the
But
surface.
you've
I'm at the
lowered the
surface.
Iron Maiden. You hear a
What's that noise?
as the Iron Maiden hits the water and begins to sink.
I'm gonna get onto it.
Is there anything else you want to do, PP, before?
Not right now.
Nope.
No.
Just want to move and lower shit and lower the. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Titus, is your go.
Swimming to the Iron Maiden.
You swim to the Iron Maiden. You make it around the front of the ship. What do?
I grab onto the cage at the front.
Mm-hmm.
And just hope it starts rising.
Okay. All right.
Lift me up! I'm
wanna do anything
underwater,
else?
mate. I'm underwater, or is it?
Yeah,
just-
you're underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can poke your head through the surface if you want and be like,
Pull!
pull.
Oh!
you can
the
do something else
shark!
as well.
There's 2 sharks!
You've used your movement. You've said something, but you can, take an action like, for example, because I'm going to say that you lowering that was an action, but I'm not going to say you climbing onto it is. I don't think that's. I don't think that's fair.
Where are the sharks in...
Okay.
terms of where
Well,
I
this
am.
sounds like you need a trademark Al Smithy original.
little sketch.
I'll give you a quick sketch of
Show me
where
where they
things are. Okay. So here we are.
Ah, there's the ship.
Wait, is the ship sinking?
Sunken? Or...
No. This
The
is
reef is
top
there.
down.
Where...
This is top
Look,
down.
Okay,
Top
so...
down.
So this is
imagine
where the
that's-
reef starts. This is the ship who's barged into the reef.
Describe
Here's
it.
Titus.
Yeah, okay, so
And he's
Titus is
swimming
next to
around to the
ship.
front of the ship to get into the Iron Maiden. And this is where the 2 sharks are right now.
2 sharks at the back of the ship.
Yeah, they're coming towards the back of the ship, okay? That's what we're looking at.
For the podcast listeners.
Yes.
It's a ship, 2 sharks, back of ship, I'm at front of ship, grabbing
Yep.
onto Iron Maiden. Well, there's enough time for me to just kind of grab on and be hoisted up. Hoist me up, Kapipi!
You just hear, I've got a tiny pee-pee.
What's that about your pee-pee? Now's not the time.
What?
I'm gonna hoist you up anyway.
There's no time to talk about your pee-pee.
You both think you're talking to each other about your pee-pees.
Yeah. Lift!
Am I
Lift me
allowed to
up!
lift at the moment?
You can start to lift, yeah.
Hoist!
You haven't
I'm
been hoisted
hoisting.
yet. You haven't been hoisted yet, so you're still
I'm
clinging on.
beginning to
clinging
hoist
onto
now.
it.
You're gonna have to wait a few seconds for some reason. Just
Sword,
wait.
you'll go.
Nice. I'm going to put the steering ship back into cruise, as in wedge a stick into it. Sorted.
In cruise, done.
Gonna look over the side at what the shark situation is and peer into the water as well, where Titus was. And I'll just do a general look around and see if I can see A, the hole that's in the ship, and B, what the sharks are up to. Briefly.
You can see the sharks have closed
I
the
engage
distance.
both eyes.
You can see the sharks have closed the distance, and it looks as though one of the sharks might get to Titus before you can haul him fully out
Do
of
I
the
see
water.
the hole in the ship?
You can sort of see the hole. It's quite hard because it's like kind of like under the water line on the bottom left. You're not under.
It's where Kevin is, so.
Yeah, it's down where Kevin is. So unless you're either on the bottom deck seeing it come in from the inside or in the water, because if you imagine a ship's hull curves underneath itself, so it's very hard to see from the top. So no, you don't really see the hole, but you do see Titus and you do see the sharks, and it appears as though the lead shark may get to him quite quickly.
I shout "Oi!" at the lead shark and point a hobgoblin-y, soon-to-be trimmed fingernail at the lead shark.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Vortex Warp on it,
Okay.
which is my new skill. I'm going to try and warp it onto the deck.
Oh my god, why?
Okay.
120-foot range. It needs to do a Constitution saving throw
Okay.
and beat a 15.
It fails.
Oh,
Even though these sharks have +5 as well.
that's quite impressive.
Yeah, you were lucky.
So I rolled less than a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so it teleports to an unoccupied space, so I'm going to dump it just on deck.
Okay.
Yeah, out of water now, bitch!
So, what does it look like?
Imagine literally a fold in space, so you can see like the refraction, almost like a black hole, just pops the shark out of existence.
I'm guessing all the water now
water will
fills
rush
the
in.
area real quick.
in front of the other shark, and then it splashes out of nothingness like a big bang, but a little plop as a big fucking shark just
Yep.
lands on the ship.
Okay, so a 30-foot shark materializes on the deck of your ship,
Just behind me.
and it goes fucking mental.
Yeah, oh god!
Jesus, like a fish out of water.
It's like slapping its tail around. It doesn't know what's happening. It's thrashing its head left and right.
Dr. Feelgood, automatons, attack!
Okay, right. So one of the automatons that was on the front left with like a prying bar, pushing it off, just gets snapped up by the shark instantly.
Oh,
Its
fuck.
mouth grabs it, just
Might be.
and it tears it apart like a Jack Russell going at a rat.
Wow.
Like, it shakes its head and completely trashes one of
Fucking
them.
hell, it's big.
And just flings it to the side, and the automaton sort of smacks against the capstan of the front of the ship and just
I thought this would be a hilarious joke, but it's really not.
and shuts its tail off. Where are you guys stood on the deck?
Where's good pee-pee? He's
I'm
at the
at the
edge.
front, right? Because I was just lowering the.
You're at the front, right? I imagine you're to the
I
back
was
left.
at the wheel and I looked over the side
yeah.
to teleport.
So you're out the way of the tail at the moment, right? So you're looking down from the raised bridge area.
Yeah, onto the deck.
Down onto the deck where the ship has been teleported. So you've got a pretty good vantage point of this.
Yeah, as everyone gets torn up by the
As you can
shark.
see one of the automatons, and you shout to Dr. Feelgood to like organize the automatons.
Get
One
a
of the-
big fucking net or something.
Okay, big net. Okay, right. You don't have any big nets on board, but what you do have are some
Ropeless,
lines.
yeah.
So a couple of the automatons run to grab ropes and they start chucking them over the top of the shark to try and hold this thing down. But again, this is a 30-foot shark. It's huge. I mean, imagine this space here is like, it would fill most of the length of this room.
It's a big fucking shark. Yeah.
It's a giant shark.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to take a sip of rum and then casually pick up my musket ready for next turn.
Okay, great. You got it. You've lent your musket against the steering wheel sort of
Oh,
pole.
well.
So
Here we go. Start pumping it.
Okay, now it's the giant shark's go.
Cool.
The shark looks for another target on the deck. It looks around. It's already torn up one of the automatons. It's now which deactivated, and he's thrashing. All right, he's really thrashing. He thrashes a bit more. He spends 6 seconds thrashing, and then he uses all his movement thrashing, and then he decides to try and snap at Kapipi, who's in front of him.
manages to thrash. You look round, and this shark has done the equivalent of the worm towards you, just like
Aggressive.
He's hungry for.
He can dance.
He can dance. He can dance. Yeah, he can dance. He tries to attack Pee-Pee. He tries to bite you with this big gaping maw. 21.
That beats
17.
That's your AC. Okay. He does 11 points of damage. Because the shark is out of water, a fish out of water, it starts to gasp for air. You can see it.
all the gills.
You can tell that it needs a bit of air, and it sort of seems to be weakened because of this. That is that shark's go. Next up, the other shark, startled momentarily by the disappearance of its hunting partner, fills the gap where it once was and accelerates its tail, moving towards Titus. It closes the gap with Titus and attacks him. 26
Wait, what?
to hit your AC.
12 in the shield. That definitely beats that.
Big.
Okay.
Bigly.
You take 17 points of damage.
Wow.
You take a
That's a
limb.
lot of damage.
And now there's blood in the water. It took a. He comes and snaps your legs. He takes a
Jesus.
little bit of your calf muscle.
What?
As his giant teeth.
Well, I'm clinging onto this thing.
You are, but your leg is dangling. Your leg is dangling in the
Why
water.
are you pulling me up, Kapipi?
And
It's
this
eating
giant
me.
shark takes a pass at you, and one of your legs gets sucked in by the current as it opens its mouth. The water sucking in. You feel your leg get sucked into its mouth, and then a sharp, snapping bite catches the meat of your leg.
No!
And does that damage. Blood is now in the water, and you can see the blood has frenzied the animal further. He knows that a good meal awaits him, so he continues and comes around and turns and begins a second attack. That's what's coming up next.
Shit.
Kapipi's your go.
Yeah. So I've just been hit or bitten. What was it? Is it a bite at me or that did the 11 points damage?
Yes, yeah. So the
gash.
flailing shark managed to move forward and snap the back of your leg at the back of
Just
your
the
leg.
back of my leg. Oh! And I let a little bit of the slack on the chains go, and that's how come you got hit maybe as well.
Nice.
See?
Nice.
Can I try? I'm going to have to just let go of Titus, I'm afraid, because I've got to defend myself, because it's all within that split second.
Titus, the Iron Maiden, suddenly gives, and you're plunged back into the water.
Sorry, Titus, I've got to defend myself.
I can't imagine an Iron Maiden
Fuck you!
floats.
No, it sinks quickly because of the reef. It
There'll
only
be
drops
a-
about 6 foot before it clangs onto the top of the reef.
There'll be a stop on the chain, though, surely. Stop it.
There
going
will,
all the way.
but it's not even that deep, so like it doesn't
so
run out all of
all
the
the
chain.
chain is just pointing
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Can I try sleep on the shark that's behind me?
You can try, yeah.
Try it. You know why? Is it something that
Remember,
won't work?
sleep is a spell based on the amount of HP a target has. I don't know what level at which you're casting it. You might cast it at a very high level.
Casting it at level
You can choose.
5 level.
Fifth.
5th level.
Well, 2d8 per slot.
Yeah.
So that's
You're casting it at 5th level,
4,
above
6,
first, so
8,
4
10
more.
D8.
Yeah, no, so it's for every above it. So there are 4 levels above level 1. So you do 4 times 2d8. So 8d8 plus the original cast, which I think is 5d8.
Yeah, 5d8.
Oh yeah.
So it's 13d8s, I believe.
I'd
then?
do that on there if I were you.
Yeah.
I just clicked the cast spell, right?
But that might work.
But yeah, so I'm gonna so I spin round, pull the lute round. It's like, you know, when the guitarist does the thing over his shoulder and it goes all the way around, but I kind of like do that and it goes around twice and I
Yeah.
catch
Wow.
it. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Right, so I just click here, Trot. You said 13, right?
Yeah, just do 13d8s.
So then do I just click there?
Yeah. Here they come.
Jesus, it's a lot of dice.
It will calculate it.
64.
That actually came up for me there as well. Doesn't work.
That's so
I was
many.
going to say, right, so a little bit of,
You're not feeling sleepy?
here's a learning, and then for a moment, there's a click, and there's a revelry, as if Kapipi's mind itself removes itself from reality, from the flow of time, and there's a momentary pause. Some may call it a learning experience. And it's a song you recognize. Your musical brain makes sense of it. Here's a learning moment for little Kapipi now. Sleep's a really good spell, but only really at lower levels. As a wizard or as a casting man, you learn that in D&D, Some spells get shit as time goes on. Sleeps 1, sleeps 1. Sleep's only good for low HP. Sleeps 1, sleeps 1. If you're fighting a giant shark, sleep's probably shit. And then back into reality. You realise your mistake.
No.
Holy shit. Yeah, sleep unfortunately.
This never worked.
Unfortunately, sleep. You can see the shark drifting slightly, and because it's sort of slightly asphyxiated as well on land, it had a slim chance, but unfortunately, the sleep doesn't take hold. It's not interested in your song, and it smells blood on the water below, and it thrashes.
I've used my good spell slot as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I cast that at a lower level. Never mind. Can I run away at the end of that?
I choose to run away. You're in the sea.
Have I got any movement to get? Yeah, but I was standing.
Yeah, you haven't used any movement yet. Yeah, you can move.
nose
You
to-
can move around it. So obviously, like imagine the main center of the ship has got that giant shark with its head pointed at you. You can try and move like
give it
left or right
opportunity
around
to
it. Sort of like
attack.
you know when you're trying to squeeze past somebody in a crowded corridor.
Yeah.
That, but there's a fucking giant
Where's
shark.
the hatch to go down?
Watch out.
The hatch is
that-
kind
Excuse me?
of. There's a staircase to the rear.
Oh, I thought it was at the front.
Not well. I can't really remember. No, I don't think we designed that. No, actually, no, there's a loading hatch, but the thing's just right over it. So like you know one of those grates where you can open them to lower like large things using cranes, but its body is just right over that hatch. To the rear, there's a staircase that goes down to the gun deck as well. But again, you can get there, but you'll have to go around it. Its tail's kind of thrashing over the entrance to the gun deck as well.
I'll run as far to the front as I can away, like off the.
You're already pretty far forward, but you can go up that little. It's got a name, I can't remember it. But there's
Yeah.
like a stick that
You
sticks
know
out the
it,
front,
yeah,
right?
that. I'm going to the end of that.
Yeah, you can move up that. That's okay. It takes you further away. But as you move up, you see that the other shark below in the water has already taken a pass at Titus, and you can see a little bit of blood in the water from where he's attacked. Right. You can also see him, Titus. You see Pipi move out onto the sort of like that pole that extends at the front of the ship, and you feel a bit angry because you know that he dropped that fucking thing you were holding onto as well.
You should be down here with me.
You should be down here.
Drowning and dying.
Titus, it's your go.
And we're going to attempt a polymorph curse on the shark,
You okay? Okay.
which requires a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And I would like
16.
to turn it into a chinchilla, which I have done some research briefly.
Okay.
They are known for having some of the softest fur on a rodent. However, they're not even supposed to take water baths due to the nature of their fur, instead opting for dirt baths. Put in water, if a chinchilla is put in water, its fur will become heavier and denser, causing the small rodent to drown. I want to turn this shark into a chinchilla.
Well, that's a really good idea. Okay,
great.
right, 1 second. So that's using your spell polymorph.
Polymorph, yes.
Okay. Just quickly check
Understand
that.
what that requires.
So,
Requires a bit of concentration, range of 60 foot, an animal up to 1,000 pounds? No, wait, that's something else. Can I do that?
You can do that, and the shark failed its check, so you succeed. However, one thing you got to remember is with polymorph, when the creature changes form, it takes on the hit points of that new form.
Yeah.
When the hit points are depleted down to 0, it changes back to its original form and assumes the hit points of that form.
Oh, so it regains it?
Exactly.
Oh, right.
So
So surely it'll drown by the time, but then it'll,
regain it and turn back into a shark.
so there's no benefit to really using this.
The benefit is to turn it into a harmless chinchilla. If you do that and held the chinchilla above the water and kept it alive, it would remain a chinchilla. So you could turn the shark into a
What if
chinchilla.
I just turn it into a goldfish and then we just turn it into a...
Then
They
for an
it
hour,
can't really attack us.
for an hour,
we're
that
free
shark
to
will be a
just-
goldfish.
Yeah, but we've only got an hour, guys.
Yeah.
It can't die.
Yeah.
We can't let it die. All right, guppy.
Put it in a little.
You turn it into a guppy.
Little guppy.
Okay,
We'll turn it into a guppy.
turn it into a little guppy.
Guppy.
You cast the spell, and the shark shrinks.
That's better, isn't it?
The shark,
That's nice.
about to take a pass at you, its menacing visage shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until it realizes it's a little guppy.
Not nice, is it? You can't talk. I could probably talk to you and get
You could,
some,
yeah, it can
maybe-
understand you. It can understand you because you're
And I
trying.
could get dumb. What was it like? Very basic.
Yeah,
language
you can convey basic
understanding.
language to fish.
Why'd you attack me?
You
You don't know.
can't understand them back.
You. Look at you now. You're silly.
It's
You're
just in
silly.
its
Look what you've done to my
nature.
leg. That's going to take some magical power and some healing. Ah!
It's just annoyed. You
I'm
scold.
annoyed.
You scold the guppy.
You got an hour of this. Otherwise, we got an hour.
The guppy swims off into the reef, disappears into one of the little holes and
Yeah.
hides.
When you grow back,
Shame.
you're going to get stuck in there, mate.
He doesn't know that
He doesn't know.
in an hour when he changes from a guppy into a giant shark, he's just going to explode within a reef.
Is he going to really hurt, or he's going to get
You've
trapped?
dealt with that. You've essentially disabled one of the giant sharks. What do you want to
swim
move?
to the
Do you wanna-
surface? Yeah, swim
Swim
back
to the surface, yep.
so that I can try and get picked up again.
Excellent use of a spell there.
Am I allowed to say anything to Kabipi?
You can say something, yeah. Although you did
Kabipi,
spend,
you bastard!
that's it. That's all you can say because you used a bit of that time talking to the fish.
I will continue.
Next time.
You've handled that fish, but there's still the fish on the deck. Second sword, you'll go.
Fucking hell, everyone! Please tie it down! It's really thrashing.
You can help them if you want, or you can do whatever you like.
I'm gonna get my musket and
Okay.
should have infused this thing. I'll do that next time. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for a musket shot.
What would an infused shot look like?
I can infuse it with a enhanced range, which gives it a +1 basically.
Okay.
Makes it more special. That's a 14 to hit.
That hits.
Excellent. That's 7 points of damage.
Oh boy. Oh. Be here a while. Sword does 7 damage with his musket. I think we might need to buff that.
I think it's dead.
It is not dead. The musket ball just sort of disappears in the huge shark.
Killed it.
There's like a very subtle, like there's a bang and then like a.
Yes.
Back to the open sea, everyone.
And as you shoot it, it irritates the shark slightly and it flaps its tail and smashes another of the automatons into like a wall.
Oh, it's not dead.
It doesn't disable the automaton,
dead.
but like the automaton sort of looks up at you like a bit peeved because he's just like, you provoked him almost.
Yeah.
You want to do anything else?
For my bonus action, I'll cast Healing Word on that thing that just got smashed.
Okay.
Sorry.
Does Healing Word work on non-organic objects?
Yeah, you tell me.
It doesn't.
Okay.
So you don't have to use it. I wouldn't use it if I. You'd have to use something like mending or some other form of like rebuilding of
Yeah, can't do that.
fixing.
There you go. I contemplate healing that and then think that's a ridiculous idea because it's not a living entity. So
Okay, that yeah. Between sessions, we'll have to buff your musket because that doing 7 damage at this point is fucking abysmal.
I think it should be a full auto musket.
Okay, well, you can come up, perhaps as the artificer here, have a look at it, think about how you'd improve it, and you can suggest some stats to me. Okay, how about that? The giant shark is still gasping for air, really looking a bit worse for wear now. The musket shot is not because of that.
Dead.
That's dead. That is gone. That's gone. It snaps at one of the automatons. God, these things are really dangerous. Oh, okay. It looks to the right, grabs another automaton, it just breaks it into 100 little pieces. All right, one of the automatons. So you're down to 4 working automatons now.
Fuck.
It really ground that thing up. Kapipi, you'll go.
I'm going to try a stinking cloud.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Well, I've done a few of those in my time,
but with Terrence, exactly.
haven't I?
Plenty.
I'm trying to
I think you
read.
just did one just then, in fact.
We breathe them in. We inhale them.
I'm surprised you guys don't fart more, honestly.
But yeah, one of the Terrence is going to do a stinking, because that's how I
Yeah.
use it. Pull his tail, and then he's going to
Eject.
eject a stinking cloud.
Oh, that's how you do it. That's how you deploy it. You like a flame, like a Vietnam era flamethrower. You spray the deck
So there you go. Inflate.
with.
And then,
Release!
and where's the pyro button? There's a pyro here somewhere. I can't find it, but it would be it. And that's how
You gonna pull me up yet, you son of a bitch?
And how's this work?
Why am I gonna get on the surface?
You create a 20-foot radius sphere of yellow, nauseating gas centered on a point within range. The cloud spreads around corners and its area is heavily obscured. The cloud lingers in the air for the duration. Each creature that is completely within the cloud at the start of its turn must make a Constitution saving throw against poison.
Okay.
On a failed save, the creature spends its action that turn retching and reeling.
Okay. Now the shark fails and it's gagging. Luckily, the automatons aren't, affected by this again because they're not living, breathing creatures. So
What sword?
it's just the shark
A sword is at the back.
Of course.
So sword's at the back. This is perfect placement for a spell like this. The gas fills the area, and the shark takes a full lung hit of this shit. It starts to gag and retch. It starts throwing up number plates. It starts throwing up, half-digested bodies. The classic, there's one that just says it's like a pirate ship's figurehead, the equivalent of a pirate era number plate. And how much damage does it do?
I don't think it does. I think it just uses its turn, doesn't it?
Is it like a disable?
It's just giving.
On a failed save, the creature spends its action that turn.
I see. Very good.
So we can't do any more damage to us for another.
Do you want to move? Do anything else?
Pull me up, you bastard!
And then a moderate wind at least 10 miles per hour disperses the cloud after 4 rounds.
Okay.
A strong wind at least 20 miles per hour disperses it after.
So you got 4 rounds of this, I'd say. Yeah. Okay. Because there's a wind blowing across the deck.
Okay, so that's that.
Yep. You can move, talk.
Is this where I can do a bonus action?
Yep. Bonus actions can be done at any time. You can just use one of them on your turn.
Okay, because I've used them before, haven't I? Where I give these guys, was it inspiration or something?
Yeah, you can cast command as a bonus action on the shark. You can command the shark.
Can I? To do anything?
Well, like a single word command, basically.
Flee, jump, sing.
As long as it fails.
I'll try that.
Whose goes it after? It's just,
Yours.
Oh, okay.
Right, I'll try that.
I do have an idea, but
I'll try that as a bonus action.
Bear in mind that the automatons are trying to restrain the shark with ropes at the moment.
But I might just tell it, just calm down.
Be calm.
Be calm.
Okay.
Be calm.
Okay, it tries to be calm, but it continues to retch and throw up from the smoke.
So it's calm and throwing up.
It's calmly gagging.
Yeah. There you go, guys. Right, what's up?
Did it. Nailed it. So calm.
I hear the gagging and
Titus, you hear gagging.
I climb the chain of the thing because it's not. No one's lifting me up here. I'm gonna get to the.
climb the
Titus, I
chain.
thought you.
I'm gonna get to the edge.
Yeah.
Nice of you to join the fight, Titus.
As soon as I cast my spell, pop it into the cannon and fire it. Reduce. I'm going to reduce it down to a very tiny size.
Okay, cool.
And I'm expecting anyone nearby the shark to pop it into a cannon because it only lasts a minute. This only lasts a minute. So then we have to fire out of the cannon as fast as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reduces.
That's right.
Reduces.
You cast Enlarge Reducer, which is a con save, correct? Doesn't work, I'm sorry.
Oh shit!
It tries to, I wish it would work, but I can't fudge that. That was a nat 20
Never
again.
mind. It's nice to try.
Oh wait, I used the wrong stat. You get another chance.
Joel, I think that I'm not sure. Is it shrinking?
It's not shrinking yet,
Oh, it
Titus.
failed. 15.
Oh,
It
it's
needed a
getting
16.
smaller.
It's worked.
on!
For a moment, the shark seems to resist, but then it gets really shrinky. It gets small.
Pop it in the cannon! Hurry up, you bastards!
It's now about the size of a large codfish.
Okay.
Fit in the cannon?
It won't fit in one of the lower deck cannons, but you still have the little biter, which was rigged to the nose. So we think we can probably fix it into the little nut biter or little nipper. We're not really sure what it's called, can't remember, but both are fine.
Stuff it and stuff it.
One of the automatons swiftly reached down, grabbed, and they're perfect at loading. They're built to load. So just loading charge goes in the back. Another one grabs their loading pole. You can just see that.
Wonderful to see it at work.
As this cod gets stuffed into this thing,
Yes.
and then they sort of look to you to do you want to do the honors? They hand you the light.
I can't stand on this leg yet.
They pull you up over the front, which is where the little nipper is, and they put the brand, the little thing.
Yeah. Let's fucking do this.
You light the back of the cannon. Boom. You just see the last thing you see is the tail of this thing, as the wind takes it.
It's going. It's going.
And somewhere about 800 meters in the distance, you hear as the shark is clearly sinking. You still have the hole to patch in the water. You have legs to patch too.
My leg.
You're out of initiative.
Oh, it's more in the air.
Here. And I cast a wispy green essence which looks quite invasive.
Oh, smear it on my leg.
It goes into your leg.
Oh,
It's like steam.
Oh.
It's healing word.
Well, that's nice. The guys, we're sinking.
What?
Yeah. We haven't had a time to discuss this. But you can hear Kevin down there.
So he was telling me he wasn't quite
Yeah,
a
he
wolf.
was. So I looked down there. There's a bit of reef that we can probably block up. There's probably going to be a little bit of water down there. So we need to get down there and
Block it
check
up
out
with
now.
Kevin.
No, again, we've tried to do the glove thing. We said that we needed a glove sheath all around him. We can't do it, basically. Let's just go down there and plug that hole with something.
All right. Living automatons with me.
How many did we lose?
I don't want to say.
What?
But yeah, I had a little shark right there, I just noticed.
We do have a little
That's
shark.
the
don't we?
talisman you bought before. Yeah. I wonder if we're going to remember that. It
Amazing.
wards off sharks.
You lift it up. You can't see it on camera. It wards off sharks.
Yeah, remember that? Ages ago, I gave it
What's
to
in
you.
my pocket?
Oh yeah.
That didn't work. I didn't do shit.
There you go.
Don't believe
next
it's
time.
voodoo.
What's the point in that thing? Wards off sharks. Didn't ward off anything. Look
I
at
heal
that
you
thing.
for 7 points, by the way.
Thank you for the 7 points. That's really nice.
You're welcome.
I got
I'll toss
gas.
that overboard.
I got gas
You
on the
tossed
back
the
of my leg.
shark thing overboard.
Fucking useless. And yeah, head down deck with automatons. And then see if there's any spare wood or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah. There's like carpenter supplies and things like that. The first mates can help you repair it.
Yeah,
Wait,
I've got.
Bongo, he's the carpenter, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, what do you need me to do? You want me to patch up a
Oh,
hole?
you see the hole with the water pissing in?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
I see that.
fix that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're down in the bottom of the hull, and Kevin's just like, up to his waist in water. Luckily, your bedrooms have got like steel doors that haven't been opened, so they should be dry. But the stores and a lot of the stores and stuff, it's pretty wet down here. You now that there's less threat, you think the automatons can pry you off of the reef. They use their long barge poles, push you off the reef, and as now the reef has no longer burst through the hull, you can patch it. Yeah, like Bongo shows you just quite quickly. Sticky Mickey's not going to put a nail through his hand this time. You patch it up. You've had practice, and you've now got expert guidance as well.
Character growth.
Yeah.
And that is real character growth. No more nails in the hands
more
for
nails.
Kapipi. You patch it, and the hole stops. You've still got quite a lot of water, though. How do you want to get rid of it? You can try and bucket it out. Do you have any
Do
more
we drill a
creative
hole in the
ideas?
bottom to drain it out?
That actually
a
sounds
great idea.
counterintuitive. No.
What?
Like a plug hole?
No.
Oh, because we're underwater
We
down
just
here, aren't
filled
we?
a hole because it can go in.
Sorry.
It's going to go in fast and it goes out.
Yeah,
and
true.
Have we got like a
I like-
novelty-sized sponge? No?
Yeah,
Didn't pack
I
one.
mean, do we have a small sponge?
Can we get Kevin to drink it all?
No.
I don't think you
no,
could
he
do
won't
that.
drink
I
the
mean, we
water.
could leave him swimming down there for a little bit.
We could just send automatons up and down with buckets.
With buckets, yeah.
That's the best option, I think. Maybe some
Will
barrels.
that take a long time? Barrels.
We've got
Have we
some
got any empty barrels?
Yeah, well, the mackerels in some.
All right, everyone, let's put all our
let's all
hands
grab
to work.
any open receptacle. There's a bucket that fit my head perfectly that we can fill.
I used my goblet, which I was drinking rum from, and just very lazily take one
Up,
occasion.
now and then.
Yeah.
About 45 minutes pass as your
that was a long
bucket
time.
chain
Ages, that
of automatons going up and down, up and down. Do you want to have a look at? You might want to have a look at the broken automatons as well and start trying to repair those.
All right, lads, who's fucked?
The two that are like slumped against the side. One of them's just like in pieces. So you're like going around collecting that one in like
Can
a
we
sack.
repair them?
Like, it's going to take some time to
I'm
get
going
that
to
one
take
back
some
together.
bits of you and put them onto this one, all right?
That's a good idea, yeah. So cannibalizing a few parts, that might
Yeah.
help. The artisans also gave you a small store of spare parts for automatons as well. So it's
Yeah, this will fit. I give them like arms and legs
Yep.
that aren't quite the same height and width as the previous ones.
Give me 2 rolls of a d20 and you can add your call it your what's your better stat for things like
My better stat is
Arcana would be
intelligence.
great. Intelligence, yeah. Give me
If I can do,
no, give me intelligence rolls. Yeah, give me 2 d20 intelligence rolls.
All right. 14 for that one. The shark stopped it on his little fin, bastard. 22.
Nice. All right.
Second one.
So you repair both of them.
Sweet.
They
Good as new.
Good. Well,
on the
not quite
back.
good as new.
Good
but
as new.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Salute me with your new arm.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do. All right, off you go. Off you go.
So it sort of jams like
I kick it.
We'll need some work on those.
it does one. You start to move again. The first mates are happy with the ship, the repairs, and the hull has been drained, and you start to carefully navigate your way over through the reef. With good eyes looking over the front, you can navigate through the channels in the reef, and you manage to clear it. After about 15 minutes of travel, behind you hear a huge explosion.
Oh. Wow.
as you realise the guppy has changed back into a giant shark within the reef. The reef was strong enough to contain the guppy's change, however, and it was forced through the Swiss cheese-like holes of the coral out, and it just basically just like instantaneously grates the shark into tiny bits of flesh bits. Yeah,
the flesh
but
bits
the
of Play-Doh
pressure and
through.
the expansion also just blows the bit of the reef apart as well.
Yes!
So
Plague of the sea!
Yeah, get rid of those reefs. What are they for? What are they for
Fuck
anyway?
you, reefs, get in the way of ships.
goddamn reef. So you've
not the first time
blown
we've
a
seen
hole in the reef.
Did you not wonder where that shark went? No? No one questioned where that shark went?
What do you mean?
Well, I turned into a little fish. They went in there and
I saw the other one you made small.
Yeah. Oh,
That
so you
was
made them
funny.
both small.
Yeah. No,
And
I
that's
did,
what
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
it? Oh, right. Okay.
Fucking hell, you cast spells or something?
Yeah, I did.
But
Not
you
bad,
were
not bad, I
To be
guess.
honest, he did well. Both solutions were very good.
I'll write tales about this.
We will leave part 1 of session 11 there. Thanks for watching Booty, High Seas, Low Expectations. We hope your expectations remain forever low. We hope you enjoyed this little one. We'll be coming back with part 2 of session 11 momentarily for our live viewers at twitch.tv/hatfilms, but a little bit longer for those watching or listening on a podcast. Thanks to our Patreon for supporting Booty. We really appreciate it. And if you're interested, there's a poster available, which we think is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, damn right, yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Really good.
Join us again as the gang continue their journey to the mushroom island of Fungary and on to eventually the Horn. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hello.
Hello.
Wrong one.
Wrong one.